Alright everybody, here we are, and let's just simply get started from there on where we were working on the last time, and let's see what all we can do this time. This should be 29 anyway. Okay, I hope I'm audible, everything's clear, and let's simply get started. So coming back to this, the main logic, I think the running this for loop is actually the problem here, so I just simply like to comment this, and what I want here is that cursor on bounds, this already has the key and the value, right? So in that case, even this wasn't wrong anyway. So whenever I move, this particular logic runs, and that makes it problematic, right? Okay, so what if I just want to keep it directly? I just have this shape and I have the true value. Once I have the true value, cursor bounds, how can I fix it? How can I do it? If I'm running this for loop, then it should be okay, I think. But as the mouse moves, it just simply moves quite a lot. Selected shape, then only this runs wherever I just simply move. Let's check this thing out. I reload the page. Right now nothing is happening. I got a shape, still nothing is happening. I selected that. Now this is the default value. Left right, left right, left right, top bottom. So we even have the top bottom, but the thing is that we are not getting that. Turns out that running this loop is a problem. In that case, I have to do something that handles it without running the loop, and for that thing, no doubt I can get the key. If let's just simply try to handle all of them. So cursor bounds top, that triple equals to true. Do this. Alright, this seems to be fine. Yeah, it's gonna be alright. This, else, the bottom section we have to handle, else if actually, else if, just keep repeating this. I think this should be okay, but I'm not sure what's gonna happen. So let's see. We have probably we may be able to use some kind of loop here because same kind of logic is being repeated. But first of all, let's use this brute force approach only. Coming back to this, this should be for bottom, this should be for left, this should be for right, this should be for top left, this should be for top right, this should be for bottom left, this should be for bottom right. Alrighty, coming back to this, what is the next thing that I can do? If that is equals to top, in that case, so row size, right? Row size means like this. Let's see whether it works or not. Reload the page. It is always like this. Okay, fine. We'll have a default value as well. If it doesn't, else, if nothing is true, then we have a default case too. Yeah, so this is sort of signifies the rows. So row size we have the row size too, and the logic is sort of gonna be a bit different for both, but ultimately for left I have column resize. How to drag and resize rectangle canvas cursor type properties. Let's check this thing out. Come on yaar, how long is it gonna take? Okay, this seems to be fine. So we have an IS column resize. We've gone through this. Indicates a bi-directional resize cursor. AW resize. The cursor indicates that an edge of a box is to be moved right, east, west. So east, west, north, south. So we have to go with this. So if when we are here, so it should be west, south. So WS. Probably WS resize. Alright, here we are. So the first one, this is the one, right? Yeah, top left, probably this one. So when it comes to top left, so it should be east and north. So Ian, reload the page. This should be Ian, top left. It should be somewhat like this. It is going to be any. Any. Oh, this is how it goes. So it is north and directions on canvas. East, west, north, south, right? So if we want to talk about this one, so this is gonna be NW. As expected. Now the only thing is that I have to add the tolerance anyhow, otherwise it's not gonna be great. Okay, adding the tolerance is okay. So this thing is done. Coming back to this one, top right. So this is gonna be north, northeast, NE. This is gonna be bottom left, so east, west, north, south, so south W, SW, and we'll have south east, so SE. Let's see. This is fine. This is fine. This is also fine. Yeah, this is also fine. The only problem is that it does not cover the what? When it comes to bounds, so it's okay. Bound needs to be there. Bound even needs to have some tolerance as well. So tolerance towards what? It needs to have tolerance towards X. Okay, let me do that. In that case, what I'm gonna do here, that is yeah, it does have tolerance there. Coming back to this, what can I do? Whenever I'm calculating this, I need to remove it. Check cursor on bounds. Whenever I'm just simply calculating this is fine, but whenever I'm checking this for on cursors, so on cursors I had the point, I had the min x and max, all these things. Okay, these were the for the bounds. Then I got the corners. When I am getting actually the corners at that time, top left, let me take care of this one. So when it comes to top left, so x and y, then there needs to, okay, this is where I don't need to change anything. And checkpoint in corner rect, this is where things need to be changed. So point inside, whenever I'm checking any point, so we have the point, we have the start, so adding the tolerance, adding the tolerance isn't really an option here. This is fine, I think. The only thing is that it does not support resizing that well. I have to do something. What needs to be done over here? Apart from the place it is, the size of the virtual rectangle should be more towards the center. Adding the tolerance, I don't think it's gonna be great, so let me do that. Let me see how it looks like if I just simply add the tolerance. So point start x minus tolerance plus tolerance. Let's see how it looks like. So even here it's gonna be like this. Okay, how about on this? I think previous one is better. Let's forget about this tolerance, and even if I have to add this, so the tolerance is actually gonna be around 5, so no, this is too much. Not adding is a better option. Yeah, only when you hover over that rectangle, then only that's gonna, you can just simply move it. Fine. happy with this. What is the next thing that I have to do? The next thing is to handling this part. Now of course it can be better. Now how can it be better? Let's see. We have to change the size this way, and it's time to actually change the size. So we have to resize it, then we have to refactor it. How can we change it? Should we have the separate logic for all the sides and the corners? Resize the shape. So this is where we are resizing the shape. That sort of comes under what? Use.canvas.size, not this one. What does this do? It just resize the canvas. We have to resize the shape. Let's create it here itself. So probably I'm just gonna have it here. Later we'll figure out the best place to keep it. Const resize shape. It is gonna take what? Sort of a key. It is gonna take a key that can be either, but that's gonna be problematic. Corner. Direction. This is sort of a better name. So it will get a direction. That's gonna be nothing but string for now. Later I'm gonna be giving it the right type. And apart from this particular thing, what else? It has to change the shape. Or let's try to write the logic here itself. Then we'll try to get the logic back in this particular function that we are trying to create. Coming back to this, we have to handle the resize of the top. Okay, when it comes to handling the resize, so the selected shape is already there, right? So at the end of the day, we have to whenever we start moving, because at the end of the day we are definitely moving. So if that is down, then we have to do it. So even this logic is fine. I don't really need to do anything here as such. I will just simply copy it and probably here, whenever selected tool is select and selected shape and the pointer is actually down, in that case we have to set the shape. So what am I doing? We have the selected shape ID, distance between the start point and end point, and we are gonna be getting the bounds. So if the point is down, okay, distance between start point and end point, selected shape initial position, that was equals to dot current, and we are actually able to move, right? So move the selected shape. This is the logic for moving the selected shape. We have to take care of what? we have to handle pointer move the selected shape. When it comes to moving the selected shape, this is the logic for that. Now if the pointer is down, we are just simply gonna be moving the selected shape. So as we move, we are gonna be getting the distance, we are just simply adding the distance to that. So this is the logic for moving the selected shape. Now let's talk about resizing the selected shape. So we need to have a ref that will say is resizing. That is right. Is pointer down and then is resizing, if this matches. So let's do one thing. At the top here, const is resizing ref, use ref, that's actually gonna be false. So that's is resizing ref, that's gonna be false by default. And the value of this is gonna change whenever I'm doing what? Whenever I'm moving the mouse here, and as I'm moving the mouse and that's not clicked, pointer is not down, and if any one of these things happen, in that case what I have to do, I have to set is resizing ref dot current. I'm just simply gonna set it to true by default over here, and if that is not any one of them, I'll set it to false. This is gonna be like this. So for all these things it's gonna be true, and if that is the default case, no doubt it's gonna be false. Setting is resizing to true for ifs and for else, and false for else. Alrighty, that's the default case. And apart from this particular thing, once we have this, and what we are doing, suppose I clicked, so that simply means is resizing is gonna be true. And over here, if the pointer is down, so either we are moving or we are resizing, one of the things are happening. So if pointer down and not is resizing ref dot current, if not resizing, in that case that is fine. Else wait, this thing comes under pointer down only, so in that case let's just simply have it here. I have 3 statements, it's gonna be even more complicated. Okay, so what can be the better way to just simply handle the same thing? Using one if statement for one thing, otherwise it's gonna be trickier. So if selected tool is here, and if selected tool to select and selected shape, that's gonna be what? Selected shape is gonna be there, end is pointer down left dot current, that simply means pointer is down. So at that time I'm gonna move the selected shape. Or let's go with this. Probably later I'm gonna be making it even better. For now I'm gonna say one thing, that is when pointer is down dot current, I have two situations here. Again many if else statement, but okay, later I will make it simpler. Is the point is resizing ref, if is resizing, that simply means I'm gonna be resizing it, otherwise I'm gonna be moving it just like this. So at the end of the day, this is where we are moving the shape. Resize the selected shape. Now we have to have the logic of resizing the selected shape here. When it comes to resizing, again we need to worry about the corners as well. Like we cannot directly resize, right? As per the corners we have to work on this. So in that case, selected direction to resize, resizable direction, that's right. So let's have one more ref here, resizable direction ref, that's gonna be use ref, and that's gonna be empty string. So resizable directional, by the way, by default it's gonna be what, direction type, direction type. Let's have a direction type, create a direction type here. So type resizable direction, that's gonna be top, bottom, left, right, top left, top right. I don't know what I named it earlier, so that is what I'm saying. Later in future I'll actually have to remove a lot of extra logic that I've written, but that's fine. Resizable direction, either this or it's gonna be null, and it's gonna be sort of like this. So we have resizable directional ref. So what actually happens that yeah, somewhere here. So resizable directional ref. So how am I gonna be getting the value? Probably I need to run a loop here. So a loop is gonna run if the value is true. In that case, that's gonna be resizable directional value. So for I think so. And even if when it comes to that, so this whole thing, it cannot be inside the loop, right? Yeah, that's right. But this thing can be definitely. So const let's see how we can accomplish this. Okay, what is the next thing that we have to do? If the value is that, simple as that, if value is true, in that case resizable direction ref dot current, that's actually going to be equivalent to key. and key as unknown as resizable direction. Setting the resizable direction to resize. As simple as that. Once this is done, so we have the resizable direction. Once we have the resizable direction, this is the last thing honestly I'm working on, then I'll make my code better, otherwise it's gonna be worse, literally. Because if I keep working on this and the things are scattered, I myself will take a lot of time to figure the things out. Coming back to this one, pointer down, we are actually gonna be moving, so pointer move this particular section, and if pointer not this, so resize the shape. This is where we are resizing the shape. The question is that what is the resizable direction, so const we already have the resizable direction, and once do we need to have switch statement here. If here we'll have resizable direction of current, and the first one is actually going to be the top for sure, and the remainings I'll take care of. Similarly we'll have many. Yeah, we are. So the first one is going to be top, second one is going to be bottom, third one is going to be left, right, top left, top right, bottom left, bottom right. Okay. Okay, let's see what we can do. So when it comes to top, so we have to create a common function that can be used, right? So we have to create a common function. Okay, so instead of having this here, in that case, this whole thing, how would, okay, let's have it here, then we will pass it to a common function. That will also be okay. Now when it comes to this top, so whenever easy resizing ref is 2, now we just simply move. As we move, we have the end point. As we have the end point, what do we have to do? When we are moving towards top, so at that time only the value of y should be changing. That is it. And how will that be changing? The usual way is that if you are changing this, so only this should be changing. If you are changing this, then only this should be changing. But in my case, both are gonna change at the same time. Let's see. So when it comes to changing the size, so changing in the sense the current size needs to be updated. That simply means const dx is gonna be end point minus x minus start point minus x. Just leave const. dy is gonna be end point minus y and start point minus y. So ultimately this is the distance that I'm actually getting in the x direction and in the y direction, the vector distance, of course. So once I have this, I got the distance. If I'm moving the cursor up, that simply means the value of y is decreasing. So we have to just simply do what? As I started moving, I am calculating the distance from the last point to this point, exactly how much it has been moved. Now when it comes to top, so we have to change the value of y only, and that too the value of y should decrease. So the distance that we have, that needs to decrease. Okay, got it. Set shapes. We are gonna be getting all the previous shapes. Once we are getting the previous shapes, so previous shapes dot map, and once we are mapping through them, then we are gonna be getting shape. Now selected shape we already have here. If shape dot id, that's triple equals to selected shape dot id. Where do we have the selected shape? Where is this coming from? This is coming from here. That's fine. In that case, what do we have to do? If that is equivalent, then we have to do something, otherwise we have to just simply return the shape. As simple as that. Just a minute. What is the shape here? Shape is nothing but an object, right? So the shape dot id is triple equals to ultimately equals to selected shape dot id. So we have to return something here. So just to suppose I'm gonna be returning dot shape. Otherwise I'm gonna be returning shape. Any problem? No problem as such. Let's work on this one. So if that is equals to top, shape x is gonna be equals to, we only have to change the value of y, so y is gonna be equals to whichever distance that we have, that is what? That is shape dot y minus dy, as simple as that. We have to decrease the value. Okay, we have to decrease the value. Any better way for this? Otherwise we'll have to repeat the logic again and again. I think we don't have any better way. Anyway, let's just do it. First of all, make it work, then we'll figure out if there's any better way. As for this thing, it always needs to remain probably here at the top, because I'm gonna need this. This is what I'm doing when I'm moving towards the top. Same thing I need to do when I'm moving towards the bottom, but at that time the value of y this is dx and dy, right? This is not enough. When we are actually getting the shape, I have to get the value of start x, start y, end x, end y. So if I'm just doing this, is not enough. And what I have to do, once I got the shape, from the shape I'm gonna get the value of x, y, and width and height. Are you sure? We are resizing. We have to resize it based on what? Based on the bounds that we have. That is right. We have to just simply click on the bounds and resize this. So the values that I'm actually getting here, they are of no use. Rather, what I have to do here, that I have to get the previous shapes, but then I have to get the selected shape bounds here. Once I get the bounds, I'm gonna be getting min x, min y, max x, max y. And before even doing any one of these things, I need to make sure that if when I'm actually resizing during that time, if not selected shape bounds, in that case I'm just simply gonna return from here. And we are gonna be getting the value of selected shape bounds. Okay, once I got the value of this, then what? Okay, let's think exactly what needs to be done next. The resizing ref dot current. So the shape is being resized. That simply means I clicked somewhere. Okay, and now even we have the selected bounds, right? After that, what I did, as I click, I get the start, as I move, I get the end. Hence, I am getting dx and dy. Okay, now as I move, so what should actually change? We already have the distance. What should I be changing? Should I be changing x and y coordinates, or should I be changing the width and height? It turns out we need to change both depending on the need. So when it comes to top, moving towards the top, at that time the shape dot y that I had initially, if I'm subtracting the value of dy, that is fine. Value of y is changing, that's completely fine. Let's go to the next one. This is not required if I'm not wrong. Bottom. When it comes to bottom, so we had the shape, still we have to change the value of what? This time we have to change the value of height. Now how are we gonna be changing the value of the height? Because just think of it like this, that you are actually changing the value of end y and something. So x and y, they are gonna be the same, just the height is gonna be changing when bottom is being moved. So at that time we'll get shape dot y. What is this? This is the y coordinate, plus shape dot height. This is HEIGST. Shape dot y. What is the problem here? Height does not exist on type arrow shape. Yeah, that's right. So in that case, whatever I'm doing, this is only for the rectangles. Okay, so in that case this left, right, top, bottom, I need to do this only when the shape type or selected shape type is not really equals to the points and all. In that case, what do I have to do? When it comes to resizing this, so many if statements are here, definitely I need to make it better. This is gonna be the next bigger task, but okay. What I'm gonna do, if selected shape dot type that's not triple equal that's not equals to arrow, or selected shape dot type that's not equals to line, what is the problem? The have no overlap. We'll keep the logic here. What is the problem with the top logic? So what is the problem here, that if selected type is not equals to arrow, and selected type is not equals to line, only then this logic is going to be applied. And even at that time, let's have one more. It's getting such a complex task. The problem is that even if that is a drawing, now if I move or resize, so at that time what is happening? So when I resize this, all the relative points are changing. Crazy. So I'll have to write a complete separate logic for this. Anyway, let's do one thing. Let's work on those which do not have points in them. And selected shape dot type that's not equals to redraw. The remaining ones are gonna be fine. What is the problem? Height does not exist on type shape, or in else case we are gonna be going with this. Resizing shapes with points. Coming back to this, set shapes. It is telling me over and over that this does not exist and all. I'm actually gonna have height and width for all now. That's enough. Instead of resolving the same issue, why not have height and width for all? So in this way, even if there is a line that will have height and width, well, that's gonna be used or not, that doesn't matter. So at least I will not have to face the same issue again and again, because at this level the shapes are gonna be all types of shapes. and if there is actually all types, yeah, let's do one thing. The easier way is that the types that I actually have here, and what I'm actually gonna do that by default I'm even gonna have width for all. It doesn't really matter, yeah. Why to just simply get stuck with the same thing again and again? I'll have width for all, even if there is a line. Though line does not have any width, that is why I'm gonna make it optional. So when it comes to line, it is gonna be null. I mean, that is not gonna exist. Apart from this passage, let the logic be here, otherwise I'll have to change it at many places. As for this one, I'm just simply making it optional over here, and I'm overriding the type. So for these shapes, it's gonna be compulsory. For other ones, that's gonna be optional. Hence, I'm gonna get this error that it is possibly undefined, and in that case, I'll have to check it whether it actually exists or not. So even I can just simply say that just like this. I mean, but this is not the best way. Right, it is not a better way to do the things. So alrighty, so what do I need to do in that case? The simplest thing can be to just remove this, and the shape that I have, height from shape dot height, and just use height over here. Now if this height does not exist, in that case not height, return the value from there. If height does not exist, in that case what? We cannot even return it. That is also right. When it comes to this, we have to return the shape anyhow. If not, as simple as that. Yeah, going ahead, so we have to just increase the value of the height shape dot by this, and what is the next thing? The extra distance. So that's gonna be dy. We have to just simply add it in this particular case. So this second thing is done as well. Let's talk about this left. We have to decrease the decrease the value of x. So coming back to this, paste it here. Probably it needs to separate for all, because I don't think the one logic can cover all these cases, but we'll see later. So when it comes to left, so in that particular situation, x is gonna be shape dot x, and this is gonna be dx. So this particular thing is done as well. Remaining, I don't think that needs to be changed. When it comes to right, at that time, that is it. So this way it is done. Let's talk about top left. What do we have to do? We have to increase and decrease the value of both x and y. That is great. So in this particular case, let's come back here, and x is gonna be like this, and y is gonna be shape dot y minus dy, as simple as that. And top right, so we have to do what this time? When it comes to top right, so we have to change the value of y, and we have increased the size of x. So this is actually gonna be the combination of both. Coming back to this one, top right means increase the width and top right, yeah, decrease the y. That simply means width needs to be increased just like this, and as for y is gonna be shape dot y minus dy, just like this. Let's come to bottom left. So when it comes to bottom, let's get the logic of the bottom from here. Bottom left, so what do we need to do in the bottom left? In bottom left, x needs to decrease and height needs to increase. So in that case, in bottom, height is already increasing, and then we have to just decrease x. So x is gonna be x shape dot x minus dy dx, just like this. So the value of x, that simply means x coordinate is decreasing and overall y height is increasing. Okay, lastly we have this. In this particular case, height and width both just need to increase. So I'm actually gonna get both from here. Const height width from the shape, width from the shape. If I don't have height or I don't have width, I'm gonna return that shape only. But if I have them, width is gonna be equals to shape dot width plus, not really, shape dot y that I had, plus of course width, plus of course dx. And this way we are just simply setting the shape, hence we will be able to resize all of them. Time for the testing. This selected. We are not really able to do anything. Why? This is not being resized. In that case, resizing shapes without points. Resizing shapes with points. Isn't this insane? Resizing shapes with points, especially when I click again. That's wrong actually then. Oh, sorry. If that's triple equals to this, yeah, now it seems to be alright. Let's see. Come on. Well, the way it's getting resized, that is insane. It's not getting resized the right way. Yeah, understood. So the next issue, that is why will just simply keep increasing and decreasing. Hence we are adding the values over and over, so it will increase or decrease exponentially. So what do we have to do? Instead of using shape here, this particular part, selected shape dot y. Same, not even that, so we are changing just y over here, so that's fine. Coming back to this, we are height. So when it comes to height, that's fine. It's just that the height that I'm actually getting, that should be coming from selected shape, and the y should also come from selected shape, and then it can be done. Coming back to this one, so selected shape, this should actually come from selected shape, and selected shape, width, that's coming from selected shape, selected shape, so we have y, right? But before even that, we have this. So ultimately I'm going to get the value from the selected shape, because selected shapes values are gonna be constant, right? Because that's no, that's not gonna be constant, because at the end of the day I'm just simply setting the value over here. So I'm setting the shapes. Am I setting the selected shape? No. Okay, that's fine. Alright, I'm setting the shapes here, not the selected shape, so that's always gonna be the constant. Hence we are just increasing or decreasing the height from a constant value. So that just simply do the job. Selected shape. We have one more. So first of all, this should be selected shape, and returning this should be selected shape. Oh, one more. So selected shape, then selected shape. Let's see. Well, this works when we click again. That simply means when we click for the first time, nothing happens. Why? Whew. And the second thing is that this bound box is not being changed, so we have to take care of both the things, and probably we need to set the selected shape once everything's done. But if I'm changing the selected shape, that's gonna be problematic. I'll have to figure out a way anyway, so we'll see exactly what I do, but this much is fine. The only thing is that when I click here for the first time, nothing happens, and then the second time it just simply starts increasing or decreasing the value. It just simply goes on like this. So the problem is that the first time, let's just simply have these values like this. I am having a headache. So what is happening here, that if I hover, resizing becomes true, and when resizing becomes true, if I am on that, so the resizing should be true, shouldn't that be? So if resizing dot ref current, reload the page. Yeah, it's not even resizing. That is the problematic thing. Now it is resizing. So the value of resizing is not true in that case, so this particular logic doesn't even run. So we are not even moving the logic. Probably the value of CLG is resizing dot current. Let's see. Here we are, resizing 63 times. Probably when I do that, so that's simple, obviously. Resizing, but when I clicked and then moving, it's still resizing. So the problem is not that, even it's still resizing. Crazy. So that's not the problem. So what is the problem? Pointer dot down dot current ref. So the pointer down dot current aren't we changing the value of this? Is pointer down true? Selected this. False. Resizing true. If resizing is true, going over my head. Is pointer down false? Resizing is true. Oh. The logic is wrong. Come on. The question is why. Honestly, overall things are clear. Now it's time to take the help of AI and get the things done. It's been enough. How many lines are here? 560. Overall we know that okay, this is how it should be going on. Just the logic that I wrote, that's just has some issues and all. We'll see exactly how the ChatGPT writes it, and then even figuring the things. I'd like to see exactly what it gives me. Let's see. First of all, we'll fix this, whatever the problem is, and after that we'll just simply work on the structuring the code. What time is it? 3:10. Looking at your code, the biggest issue is that resize mode is being activated on hover. Okay. Else cursor on bounce. Check cursor on bounce. You are setting easy resizing current true during pointer move even when the mouse button is not pressed. Resizing should, yeah, that's right, that is the problem. Pointer move, no mouse down, only detect which handle the cursor is over or update the cursor style. So only cursor style needs to be updated. So is pointer down ref current, const handle check, cursor on bounce. If I have the handle resizable direction ref, and this is how should just simply go on. Notice is resizing current is false, no resizing starts here. So makes sense, at least this thing. So ultimately, first of all, this particular part is pointer, if pointer down current is not equals the current one. Pointer, let's do one thing. So if the pointer down ref is not equals to current, ultimately pointer is not down. So when pointer is not down, at that time we have the handle check, cursor on bounce. So we have this particular handle and point and all, we are passing this. What is the problem? This sideways direction ref, that's gonna be well, the logic is wrong in that case. I cannot replace my logic completely because the code that it is giving me, that doesn't fit here. So we'll have to get the inspiration from there. That is it. That's what only we can do. So if pointer down dot current, if that is not, then I'm gonna be doing this. Then let's keep them side by side. That would be better to just simply work on. Alrighty, coming back to this one. So this is the first thing we are doing, and the most important thing is that I have to restructure my code the better way. And then we have cursor on bounce, and if I don't have that, I'm just simply returning, and if I have that, I'm just simply going ahead. At that time it should be false. Yeah, I'm not really resizing here. So this is how it should be going on. Setting the resizable direction. So this is how the direction is actually gonna be set, and then we'll have a switch statement over here. As per this, it is just simply saying that handle returns down. In my case right now, cursor returns what? Cursor returns these. Wow, such a good thing. Instead of returning the whole object that contains one true value, why not return a key on which my cursor is right now? Wow, that's such amazing thing. That is why I say, write the logic on your own, take the help of AI, and then see, you will be amazed that the way you wrote the logic and the way the logic could have been written. The thing that I am doing here, that is returning the whole object, and the question is, why am I even doing this? I can just return what? The sort of direction where my, or sort of the side where my mouse is actually, or cursor is actually on, that is it. And that will simplify the logic. Now the question is, how am I gonna do that? So in that case, now I don't really have enough, courage to, should I just simply do it on my own, or should I take the help of AI here? The logic is gonna be pretty simple. It's just simply gonna be making some changes here and there. Let's take the help of AI in this particular case here. ultimately we know the overall logic, right? How things are actually getting done. What should it return? It should just simply check the point where my mouse is actually on right now, and it should return the name of that. Okay, we can write that, but it's gonna be time taking, and we should, when we know that we can do something, only then we should take the help of AI. And I've written this logic, so I know I can do that too as well. Hence I'm gonna be, even I will direct it what it needs to do, and I will explain everything at the end. Return only the corner or side where my cursor is. Refactor the code and give functions better names as well if needed. Here we are. But yeah, look, I as a human being, I kept writing this for so long, still getting the errors. Then gonna be taking the help of AI. It is gonna write the code in. But yeah, if I had to make the AI understand, then probably it could not have written the code. But right now, as it has the reference, it can easily write the code. So first of all, we have the resizable handle. So what am I actually gonna do? Let's see what it returns. Main function. So what is this? Get a resize handle at a point. Resize handle. Resize handle. That's okay. The thing is that I have to check whether it works or not. So let's do one thing. Handle. Or if it actually works or not. We have many issues here and there. And it's time to make the code even look better, yeah. Otherwise it's so messy. Honestly, it's messy. So let's just simply import this. Once imported, it should be fine. Not fine yet. It is just simply telling me that something is still missing, probably at this point of time. Get bounding box. I have removed the get bounding box logic. That's my bad then. Do I have get is a point direct get corner handle? I think I need to have get bounding box. Where is that? Get bounding box is here. I need to have it, and remaining things I can just simply. What the hell? Is this okay? I don't think so. What is the problem with this? Okay, here we are. Let's see what what were we supposed to checking? We were supposed to be checking handles, right? Here we are. Bottom right, top right, top left, and bottom left. It is working. Great job. Now let's check out the code, exactly what the code is doing. Coming back to this one, how AI wrote the code. So first of all, it is getting a point. It is getting the bounds throughout which it around which it has to simply check, and it is getting the scale. It is simply sending telling me that this particular value is going to be returned, either these or null, and that is the size handler. Okay, that's fine. Let's continue. We got the minimum bounds and all that. Let's make it simpler. Coming back to check corners first. So we are actually checking the corners first of all. So get corner handler. So we are just simply passing the point, the bounds, and the scale. And if we don't get any corner, what is the corner? Corner can be these values. If we don't get let me see what this particular function do. So ultimately we try to get the corner. If we get the corner, we'll return it. If we don't get the corner, then we'll check for top, we'll check for bottom, we'll check for left, we'll check for right, and at the end of the day the values are gonna be returned. Pretty simple one. Let's check this thing out, that get corner handle, what this does. So first of all, it has the handle size, just like I did. It has the half handle because it has to move the imaginary rectangle that we created earlier. It has even corners. It has type X and Y. The last time we just had X and Y. The good thing is that it has even types. That is good. So it has the type top left. Okay, the last time what we did, that we had this as a key value pair. So this was the key and this was the value. The change it made here, that is, it got an array and then assigned a type here, just added one more property, that is type, so that we can get the idea, or we know that this particular X and Y coordinates they belong to top left category. We have top right, bottom left, bottom right. After that, of course, no doubt we are gonna run a loop. Once we are running a loop, point inside rect, so at that time we are gonna be creating sort of a we are creating a shape that has a point, that has X coordinate, that has Y coordinate, that has a width, and that has a height. And this logic is here. We don't even need to do this. Why? Because this logic we have already written. But let's see. It just simply gets them and it just simply checks whether that is on the point or not, and just simply on the basis of that thing, it function as well, and that particular value is going to be returned. So that's something you have to that's something we have to keep in mind. Okay, never mind, this particular thing is done. One more improvement we can do here, that is this point in rect. I already had it here. So if I go to my hit test, so point in rectangle takes a point and a shape. So somehow we have to create a shape and we have to pass it here, and then we are gonna be getting the value that can be either null or the value can be shape. Coming back to this, it actually returns what? It actually returns the true or false. Yeah. So in that case, usually if I actually try to call that, just a minute, is the point inside a rectangle, not rect. How can I call that? Hit test. and if I export it from here, so that we don't have to repeat the logic twice, come back here and if I try to is the pointer inside what is the name of that, point in rectangle, copy, get it, it needs point, I pass the point, it needs shape, we will have to create the shape, type a rectangle, for example, and this whole thing, and this is completely happy with that. In that case, it is gonna return what? Const point in rectangle. So it does if it is inside, it returns the shape, otherwise it returns null. Const shape shape on or at point. So it returns shape at point. So what do we have to do? That as it already returns shape at point, so if we have shape at point, in that case corner dot type is going to be returned. We are trying to use it here. Interesting. So corner of corners, we are just simply checking whether this is on rectangle or not, and once we have that, we are just simply checking whether shape at point exists, or this is not even gonna be the shape, like it will be just is inside. And it will get the job done. So in that case, I don't even need to repeat it. The only thing is that I have to change my logic here then. Pointing rectangle. Let's be okay with this. I mean, we definitely can use it, but both of them are different. One returns a point in rectangle, so it kind of returns the shape. Another one returns boolean value. So even if we are going with this, that's completely fine. Having said that, we can use it by just customizing it here and there. That is definitely usable, but that is actually made for altogether different use case. So let's not, I mean, mess up with them. Okay, so we have when it comes to top. So at that time, to check whether it is on the top, so we are just simply saying that point dot x should be greater to minimum x, minimum x, yeah. Okay, that is right. Then point dot x should be greater than maximum x, point dot y should be less than minimum y, and point dot y should be minimum plus tolerance. That makes sense. Then we have minus tolerance over here, max y, and then we have plus tolerance on the left side, so that we come on the right side. We have minus tolerance on the left side, so that we have minus tolerance on the right side, so that we actually come towards the left. This thing, we got the handle is working fine. That simply means now if I go with the logic that it gave me earlier, it will just give me this, right? So if I actually just replace this whole thing with that, so this should be fine. And it turns out It is not fine. For what? From here actually. So this needs to be removed, no problem as such, and this needs to be here. Now let's check this thing out, what we are actually doing here. First of all, handle is gonna be, what is the name of the handle that we created? Bounding box, get resize handle at point, get resize handle at point. Once we got that, once we have the handle, we are just simply setting the handle. After setting the handle, if that is top or bottom, ns means we have east, west, north, south. So top or bottom, so we have north and south. Okay, that's fine. Left and right, we have east and west, east and west. See how it works. Top right, and this we have this NESW. So for the top right, it should be NE. So top right means this way. So east and north. Okay, that is good. And in the remaining case, that's resizable direction is gonna be null. It's gonna be default, and we are just simply returning from here. Okay, let's check this thing out at least. This is fine. This is fine as well. It is gonna be sort of same, right? So what we are doing here is that for top left and bottom right, this is always gonna be the same. So either north to south. If I actually remove this part from here, if we just have this much north and west, that is still gonna be fine. Yeah, it's not really gonna change at all. Why do we have NWSE here? Just a minute. Why do we have NWSE instead of NW? Because CSS resize cursors describe both diagonals. So resize along northwest to southwest diagonal, resize along northeast to southwest diagonal. So northwest, that can be southeast, and at the end of the day they are the same. So ultimately, when it comes to top left and bottom right, and top right and bottom left, top right NE, bottom left SW. So that's what editors typically do this. And yeah, the region, it's not just NW, is that the cursor doesn't indicate which corner you are on. It indicates the axis along which resizing will occur. For example, dragging the top left handle can make the shape wider, narrower, west to east, taller, shorter. Okay, that's fine, understandable. Ultimately, it is just simply adding both. So this is done, and that works quite well. Apart from this particular thing, what were the suggestions? We were looking at the suggestions. So this was the first thing that it just simply suggested me, and I applied that. And pointer down, determine whether we are resizing or moving. So whenever the pointer down happens, at that time we may resize, we may so select a tool selector, so shape at get shape position, that's fine. Once we check resize and check cursor on bounce, if resize handler exists, in that case we are just simply moving. If resize handle exists, in that case is resizing is gonna be true, and resize handle gonna have this particular value, whatever value I get from here. That's right. resize handle. So okay, that's fine. In else case we are just simply moving. It does make sense anyway. Coming back to this, this is the another thing that we can do over here. What are we doing here and what can we do here? So let's just simply collapse. This is mainly for what? This is render cursors on bounds. That's what we are doing here, right? Aren't we? Yeah, render cursors on bounds. First of all, resizing shapes with points and all. Let's just simply not worry about this right now. So resizing the selected shape if that is so, otherwise moving the shape, and otherwise we are doing this. There are two things. First one is gonna be, come on, so we have this is pointer down. When the pointer is down, at that time we are doing these things. So we have to simply specify that what needs to be done next. So if the selected tool is select and we have the selected shape, get shape at this particular position, then we have the different logic as well to get the position. Whenever mouse down happens, relative points, update drawing points. This is what mouse, oh, this is mouse move, and when the mouse is moving, this is logic for down. Yeah, come on, I was trying to change the logic on pointer move. Come back here, pointer down, and we have to correct what? So whenever the select tool is here, so at that time what are we doing here? Get a shape at position. We are definitely getting the shape, so that's gonna be selected shape element or the shape. That's fine, we got the selected shape. If we do not have, we are returning from here. Then what are we doing? This much we have done. Then set a selected shape. We are setting the selected shape. That is what we are doing. Then we are getting the bounds and set bounds. So let's just simply move it a little upwards, just somewhere here. And then what needs to be done? Check resize handler. So selected shape initial position, we need to have it here anyway. It is not having it. Why? We need the initial position so that we can use it later. We need this initial position so that we can use it while moving. Check this out. We'll see exactly why it's not including that. So after that, what it is telling me that get the check resize handle. So as I clicked, so whenever I click somewhere, at that time I need to know what resize handle. Yeah. So when you click, at that time you have to decide what's the resize handle. So that's completely alright. So const resize. And even here, when I actually wrote the logic, this particular one, while moving it, so this particular section, mainly this one inside this, so I named it handle. Let's name it resize handler. Resize handle. done. And apart from this particular thing, let's keep it like this. Let's come back here and const resize. Can I just simply copy and paste? Why to just nope, it's not a good idea to just simply copy paste from the AI. It's, you should always write it, handle, and that's gonna be what is the function for it? Resize get a resize handle at point. Then we have to pass the values. We have to pass point. It turns out we don't really have point. Amazing. That's gonna be the start point because we are clicking, right? So that's gonna be the start point. Then we have to pass the bounds and we have to pass scale. So whenever we click somewhere, at that time we even check whether we actually clicked on the boundary or not. Check if, I mean that's simply fine. So get the resize handle you clicked on, as simple as that. Once we have this, so now if I actually clicked on resize handle, in that case what I'll do, I'll start resizing, and if I did not click on that, so I will start moving. So that is something that's gonna happen, but move cannot actually happen here. So we'll have to just do one thing, that if this is where I'm setting that, so this position that I had for moving, that's actually being set in this particular case. That's understandable. So at that time is resizing ref dot current, that's gonna be true because we are gonna resize it, and resizable handle, resizable direction ref or resizable handle ref. So instead of naming it resizable handle ref, that's actually a better name. And when it comes to this, instead of having direction, we'll have this. And what am I actually gonna do here? That coming back to this dot is it. So this particular section got done, and ultimately resize else move. Enables moving the shape when while move event. Enables resize shape while move event, or during move event. Okay, so here we are. Even we are gonna be making it simpler as well in further as the time goes by, but as for right now, okay, we have done this. Pointer move down. Let's just simply come back to this one. Ouch. Let me have some water first. Whew. Come on, yaar. Okay, let's continue. So the next is this pointer move mouse down. So now we know if we are moving or resizing. That's right. So let's go to that is fine, works great. Let's go to move section, and when it comes to move section, so whenever the particular shape is actually selected, now in this particular situation we already know that we are moving or not, right? So that is right. If that's good logic to have here, that bro if is a pointer down dot ref current return if that's not down, otherwise we know that it is down, Hence we'll check if we are resizing or not, and if we are actually resizing, resize shape and point or move shape and point. So let's do one thing. We'll create another function here that's gonna be resize. We'll see what's the best place to keep it. Resize shape and const move shape. That's why I said like when the overall business logic is done, we'll rewrite restructure the logic. So instead of keeping everything at the same place, let's use functions to just simply wrap that. So the logic that we had, that is this. So if we are resizing, this was the logic that I had till this place, right? So cut, and what I'm gonna do, I'm just simply gonna paste it here. Of course there's gonna be a lot of mistakes for sure, errors, not errors at the end of the day, but we'll fix it. And similarly, if there is that, resize shape, that is it, that's what I'm gonna do. In else case, I'm just simply gonna move the shape. So the entire logic that I have for moving here, I'm actually gonna keep it here. Now even we'll move these functions from here. As for right now, we are just simply keeping it here so that it's easier to just handle the stuff. Later we are gonna be moving them as well. So now it just simply makes sense. Coming back to this, what is this gonna do? So when it comes to resize endpoint, so we have to just simply pass the endpoint. Let's see with the endpoint it works or not, I'm not sure. So we'll have to see this thing. Let's see first of all. And at the end of the day, we are gonna be returning from here. So render on cursor bounds. So if we actually, bro, if that's not down, in that case you are actually returning from here. So how will you be rendering the cursor on bounds? So that's on or on handles. Then that's gonna be problematic. So this thing should be at the top. Again, there's an error here. This should be resizable, resizable handle ref. Once I'm done with this, it will continue. Resizable ref. This is done. I'm just simply keeping it here at the top, mainly because I wanted to make the cursor visible as well, right? If it is on the what? If it is on what? If it is on handles, resizable handles. Coming back to this, we are passing the endpoints, and of course we have to fix this, and then reset a resize state. So if I go to pointer, that simply means even ChatGPT is gonna make us write the code. Never mind, we will do that. So when pointer actually up happens, at that time we are already doing this, that is pointer, this is going to be false. A few more things that need to be done here, that is this is actually a good thing of even ChatGPT. It does not give you the corrected code, rather gives you the hints, and you have to just simply work on them. By the way, any AI does this type of thing. If you, unless you actually say that give me everything, is resizing dot current dot false, and is not resizable handle ref dot current, that's actually gonna be null. So resizable handle ref, that's okay. So yeah, we are just simply resetting everything. Another major bug, what is that? You calculate dx this, bhai, I'll calculate that later, but first of all let me fix the current errors that I have. Current So we have to pass this, so let's do that. It will take end point. It will also take end point. Let me fix the move shape first of all. It is taking the selected shape ID. It is possibly null, so fine. Even selected shape needs to be passed here, but okay, that can be used as well. As for the start point, that can also be start point dot x, start point dot y. So whenever move happens, at that time we are getting the start point. So whenever we need to pass it. So ultimately, if you are using any function, just make sure that pass all the values that it is using, so that next time onwards, even if you are moving something here and there, you don't get confused. So selected shape. So whatever it is using, we are passing everything to this. So it will get the end point. It will also get the start point. It will also get selected points. Selected shape actually. What am I doing? Selected shape. That's gonna be shape. And it seems to be alright. At least we got the ID from the selected shape, and after that we got the distance between end point and start point. Okay, and after that we got x selected shape initial point position, that is okay. We are saving it separately. We are getting it separately, so that it is always constant, and we can just simply add the distance or decrease the distance between the points as per that. And this is done, and that is it. It will definitely work. There are no errors as such. Let's work on this one. So we are gonna be getting a start point for sure. That's gonna be type of point. We are gonna be getting end point. We'll even have selected shape. Just like this, and now we can get rid of this for sure. We are definitely resizing, and resizable handle ref dot current. Okay, now at least no errors are there, but let's see what, because we have problem logic wise as well. So probably I need to make AI write the code for this. Let's see what it does and all. Another bug, you calculate end point is gonna be, but start point never changes. Yeah, that is right. Therefore every resize is related to the original mouse down position. This causes the shape to jump. It is saying that start never changes. Just a minute. Store the previous mouse position. So it will not. Why? Because we are saving. This is also one of the ways we can go with this way, or in our case what we are doing, in our case we actually have this initial position. We are getting the value from the selected shape, so that should not be problematic. But the thing that it is suggesting last pointer ref, that is also good. In that way what will happen, that I'll not have to use this selected shape over here, rather I can directly go with the shape. So that is something can be done too. We'll see which way is better, and then we'll just go with that way. But as for this, we are just simply unable to resize it. Okay, let's do one thing. Enough of writing the code. I wanna see what it gives me. It is giving me the resize shape. That is insane. Exact resizing is extract resizing completely. Fix this. Keep in mind that अरे भाई बस fix this. Let's see how it fixes it. Why to just give it some extra stuff. Okay. We'll see exactly what kind of logic it has written. Let's see what happens. We have this resize logic here. Let's see whether it works or not. What has it done? Let's see what it has done here. Start point and this, that is fine. It got dx and dy and selected shape arrow line. It is gonna be doing this, and it is just simply gonna return. Otherwise, shapes, previous shapes, shape. What it is doing here? If shape.id is not equals to that, then of course we have to just simply return the shape from here. That is fine. Otherwise we have to resize the shape. So when it comes to resizing the shape, so if that is equals to top, so in that case y is gonna be selected shape y plus dy, and height I think it needs to be selected a shape first of all. Let's see. At least we are able to move it here and there. That's what I wanted. We are able to change this. We are able to. What the hell? This is changeable. If we changed it this much, it should always remain here. As I am changing this, it should always remain here. As I am changing this, it should. Something is up. Okay, never mind. What is up? Let's see. So as I move from top to bottom, so what am I doing? I am setting the height. Height is what? Selected shape, as simple as that. I get this. I get the problem. The problem is that we are using this selected shape here in that particular case. If I do not use, again there is a problem. Fixed width and height is not gonna be there, and if I use selected shape, I'm gonna be getting the fixed height. Okay, so We can do this actually. We can have last pointer ref. Yeah, that's gonna be simpler logic, because right now even if I have the logic, I can even fix this, but in future this is gonna be problematic, and that's gonna be crazy. Last pointer ref will at least make sure that this is gonna be the last. We are gonna be getting the distance between last and this, and on the basis of that thing we'll get the distance, and that is it. Okay, so now, as the AI was even telling me that, so it was just simply telling me to get the last pointer ref. So I'm supposed to be just simply creating this. I'm just simply gonna be copying and pasting now. So I'll go to the top. I'll have here last pointer ref. That simply means it just simply tells me the last pointer. There is a difference between start pointer and the last pointer, and I think I should switch to this last pointer only. Even before this I used this start pointer, and because of that thing I had to face the issues. So I'm gonna be switching to with this last pointer. So even I have to change my logic, and that's completely fine. And whenever the pointer down happens, so at that time start point is gonna be the last pointer. Right now I'm gonna have both start as well as last, and later we'll remove it. As for the end pointer, that's not really being used, so let's get rid of this. And whenever pointer down happens somewhere here, at that time last pointer ref dot current, that's gonna be start point. But whenever we move, at that time I have to change. So whenever I move, at that time last pointer ref dot current is gonna be so whenever I am moving it, handle pen, not this one, come on, not this one either. So whenever I am moving the mouse, at that time we got the end point. After getting the end point, probably somewhere here, before even getting this thing done, const last. And what is that last anyway? That last is the last point, as simple as that. So last is gonna be last pointer ref dot current const end minus last. So while moving the shape, we have to do the same. Just a sec. We are even getting dx and dy. What am I doing here in this moving shape? We have this, we are getting this. As I am moving, I have to use this. Yeah. So now, earlier what I was doing, I was just simply saving the value of selected shape. Now we don't really need to do this. So what am I actually gonna do? That so what will you be doing? How will you fix this? Okay, just hang on. Do I need the start point? No, I don't even need this. I'm gonna be distance between start and end point distance. Last and end points, and we are gonna be getting last dot x. But ultimately, this last is gonna be used over and over. So instead of sending the start point, I'm gonna be sending last point. But the problem is that this last point will be used for resize as well as for move. So it's better to create it here. So last const dx is gonna be endpoint dot x minus last dot x. Const dy is gonna be endpoint dot y minus last dot y. The only thing is that if I do not have the last point, I'm just simply gonna return from here. As for these optional values, I don't really need to have them. So I got my dx and dy. What is the next thing? Dx and dy is nothing but the distance as I moved my mouse, and that's the distance between last and okay, that is fine. And when everything went well, whenever I rendered, at last what I'll do, last pointer ref dot current, that's gonna be the end point. So this is what we have done. And apart from this particular thing, now instead of passing this, I'm gonna pass dx and dy, the distance x and distance y, and I'm gonna pass end. I'm not even sure why I'm passing end, so I don't even need to pass end here. Selected shape, what's the use of this? Dx and dy, that's fine. Why are we passing selected shape here? What is the use of this? Dx is gonna be number, dy is gonna be a number. Selected shape ID. Now the good thing is that the distance that I'm actually getting, that is between the last point and the end point, hence move the selected shape, cut, and y dy. The question is, how will you be getting the values of x and y? That's gonna be shape.ex and shape.y, and once I pass the ID, yeah, that is it. And when it comes to setting the selected shape, the question is, why do we need to set a selected shape? So that first of all, we set the shapes, it's gonna be rendered. As for setting the selected shape, okay, we got the selected shape. We even need to change the directions of selected shape, right? Yeah. Set a selected shape. So all the values of the selected shape plus changing the distance of that. So in this particular case, shouldn't it be the same? So instead of having x here, I'm gonna be having selected shape dot x selected shape dot y. So at the end of the day, as I'm just simply moving the mouse, I already have the distance. As I already have the distance, I'm setting the selected shape. Based on that, I'm even creating the bounds, and I'm just simply setting the bounds. As soon as the bounds are, I got the new bounds, so that is fine. A render whenever existing shape change, render shapes. So whenever we are rendering the shape, bound is gonna be passed as an optional value, and the remaining things are done, handled there. So okay, that's fine. So let's see whether this mouse move happens well or not. There is something is missing. What is that? Yeah, right. So as we are moving this, so end is not being calculated well. Oh, that's insane. Why is that so? So the bound box, that's not being, whenever we are moving at that time, move the shape after rendering everything we are changing, right? Aren't we? End point. That is problematic. So what I did over here, that is using the distance between the end point and the last point. So when I'm actually moving the shape, right, as the shape is actually being moved, so shape dot x and dx and shape dot y plus dy, so the distance is just simply gonna be added, otherwise the shape is gonna be there. And as for the selected shape, in the selected shape we are adding dx and dy as well. Let me give it to the AI now. AI made these changes. Earlier my code, my logics, and ultimately it was working well. Now I'm having these issues. I was going with the start point and end point, that worked well in my case, but let's see. Correct this now. Your current has one remaining major issue. You are calculating incremental, but inside the shape you are using what is this doing? Without even looking, understanding the code, if I copy paste, that's gonna be crazy, and it will make even my own code complex. So in that case, another bug. Let's talk about this one. Move updates bounce incorrectly. So selected shape. You are calculating bounce from the old shape. Yeah, right. So update shape. Oh, that makes sense. So probably this thing is gonna help. As for the resizing, let's not worry about that. We'll take care of that very well. What happened then? Coming back to this, let's see what is the effect. Okay. Alrighty, this is sort of not bad, but there is a problem that that's not really a problem. Okay, that's fine. Happy with that. So the problem was that the shape was being calculated from the previous shape, hence the bounding boxes were not right. So get bounding box, set a selected shape, and this both are just simply happening over here. So at least this particular thing is done. Let's talk about mouse move. Resize exactly what it says regarding this particular thing. So in here, first of all, let me try to make it right as per my wage, and then if needed I'm gonna take the help of AI. Number d1 is gonna be number, hopefully that's what being sent over here, and resize whenever we are resizing, we come on. Now what will happen that here will be returning, otherwise we'll have shape over here, and apart from this particular thing, wherever I have this selected shape, I'll change it with the shape, because we are using the distance, so ds is the last distance. Even if we are writing it directly, that's fine. Coming back to this one, alrighty, that's what I wanted. There is one problem that is the bounding box is not being calculated well, so even we have to resize the lines and all, that's fine. How can I calculate the bounding box? We are setting the shape. Okay, we have to set the new bounding box, so I think it can be done. We have to just simply set the selected shape again. So the selected shapes values, they need to change, so ultimately I can copy paste the this particular stuff from here. Well, not really. Let me see one more time. Even if we are decreasing, oh yeah, let me do one thing. We set the shapes, right? So what I'll do that updated shape is gonna be shapes dot find shape dot id, that should be equals to selected shape dot id. What is the problem? Okay, null if updated shape is null, returns that. Now let's see. Interesting. Tring 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 tring. Congratulations everybody, we've done it. Okay, so we are able to let's keep it aside. Let's go here with this ring 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 ring. Let's talk about this. Okay, we are unable to what? ये तो गड़बड़ हो गई. What am I supposed to be doing here? The size of the circle is not decreasing, so no, this is a bug, we have to fix it. Let's make it smaller at least. We can't even make it smaller. Never mind, let's keep it here. Let's talk about this ellipse. At least ellipse is work. What the hell? Ellipse got the negative values. Amazing. What the? It actually got the negative values. Okay. It got negative 0.5. Usually I normalize the value. Here I did not. Never mind. Reload the page. We have to fix that. I never expected. Okay. We are not resizing it, the logic is not enabled. Now what's gonna happen with this? I knew that nothing would happen. So there are few things are working well. Yeah, that's fine. Can't even delete that, even deletion is not allowed yet. So it turns out we have to work on many things. So ouch. We will work, no problem. What is the next thing that we have to focus on? Let's fix this thing first. Circle. So whenever we are changing this, it doesn't have any effect on circle. Why? So whenever we are resizing it, so at the end of the day this is definitely getting changed. The only thing is that the shape that I am getting, in that case if that is a circle, at the end what am I doing? Set shapes, it's just simply returning them for 1, that is fine. So the shape that we updated, after that we get the bounding box, that particular shape. We updated the shape, we found the shape with the help of the ID. Once we found the shape, we got the bounding box of that, that is fine, and that bounding box worked well. So this bounding box is sort of doing a great job. The only thing is that we are unable to make it smaller. To make it smaller, I need to make the radius lesser. I think in circle we have the radius, right? Apart from circle, we have width, height. We don't have the radius. So ultimately we do have width and height. So in case we have width and height, and if we actually just simply resize that, resizing in the sense as I move from bottom, so height is decreasing. Got it. What is, as per my logic, my circle actually takes the maximum value. The width does not decrease, hence it takes the maximum value of the width instead of the height. So I have to make sure that my circle actually takes the minimum. So whenever I am drawing the circle, just right here, center x, center y, radius that I am calculating, that's gonna be minimum, and center x, center y, now they can definitely be let's see. What do we do? What do we do? What do we do? What do we do? I want height and width increase as per the ratio. So let's do one thing, that bro, const, I'm not sure what I'm doing here. Ratio is gonna be equals to width divided by height, and once we got the ratio, what we'll do, we'll get the max. First of all, this ratio, this sort of logic I've seen quite a lot. I don't know whether it's gonna work here or not. Let me see if AI can help me here. Can you write the logic in such a way so that I am able to resize a circle well? The problem isn't in the drawing the goal. It is doing what? Circle only needs one dimension. Resize logic when the user drags any handler. So current start. क्या कह दिया इसने? Everything went over my head. Resize circle from corner. I'll have to read. Anyway. I'll actually have to go through the code. One thing is simple, that we know what the problem is. The problem is pretty simple, that we get the max value, and even if we are decreasing one, that doesn't really gonna make any sense. Hence we have to just simply figure out some way so that it can be resized, and for that thing we'll have to just simply go through it. What time is it? It's already 4:32. Probably I'm gonna be going live on this for 1 or 2 hours more today in the evening, and then we'll switch to some other thing. I'm gonna take a break for now. Until then, take care, bye bye, and see you.